first thing to understand about churches and their fake reality, and politics too, is that your brain filters reality through what it understands. And so you'll see something and it filters it through your past. You know that's a car because in your childhood you learned that was a car. You learn that had dangers as a car because as a child. So the example is that you learn, you see reality through this filter. And the filter's not always accurate, and there's examples of that. For example, a crime scene. You'll see 10 people see a crime scene or a crime, and then they'll report different things. Why? Because it's going through their filter. Very few people see it exactly the way it happened. Some people do, but very few. So the same is true with fake reality. There's a political idea where they're trying to get you convinced of certain realities, and then on the other side, there's the same kind of fake reality. Try to say the one is the sky is the savior, and the other the sky is falling. Both are fake realities. The truth is in between the two. So I was going through some of the religious fake realities, and I wanted to talk about them for a minute. We have the truth, and we are God's way to life. This is a fake, stupid reality. Some of the most criminal churches, those who have done the most criminal things, say they are God's people, they are God's way. And so we are God's people. Well, what about the other billions of people? They are not God's people. Some God you serve where he can't see everybody. Okay, so that's through that reality of a fake reality. That's why they believe that. They believe their church is God's people. They believe that they're the only ones with the truth. And truth is relative considering how educated you are. But the other one is you can't serve a loving God except without an organization. You have to be part of an organization. That's not really in the Bible. That's not really logical. So a man's off in the middle of nowhere. He plants the plants. He has his animals and he feeds his children, and his children are happy. He's wonderful to his family and his neighbors and his kids. And you're saying that guy is not acceptable to God. Well, that's baloney, and that's just a fake reality. Okay, so then we have fantasy land. Here's another way to tell you're in a fake reality. If they promise things that are just bizarre. There's one religion that promises you'll go to a couple of religions that'll tell you that you're going to go to a different planet after you're dead and live a happy life. Some of them say you're going to have a bunch of virgins around you, 70 of them. All those kind of fake planetary realities. Okay, well, go look at Mars. It's not a place I'd like to go. No, that's funny, I'm sorry. So then they say you go to heaven. And then they say that you go to this other realm. And so if you're good, you go to heaven. If you serve the church, you go to heaven. I'm not sure why that's true in anybody's reality. It wasn't Jesus' reality. At the time, the Jews did not believe in heaven and hell. So that Jesus wouldn't have agreed with that. So then we have a paradise earth. So the religions see, okay, not everybody goes to heaven. Oh, so we're going to have a paradise on earth. Okay, so paradise on earth is where God destroys all the wicked people, billions of them, and keeps this little tiny group, and then they clean up the earth and make it a paradise. Okay, talking about a fake reality. Fake reality is that that's just trying to convince you of a utopian idea, and that idea is not in reality. Okay, so then you have the opposite idea. So you have to understand that in manipulation, there's two ways of doing it, two main ways. One is called the carrot, which is the positive where you're going to paradise crap, or the stick. And the stick is kind of interesting. So the first one is hell. Now hell, again, 800 years after Jesus. So it was just added by some criminal to threaten people, to make them think they're going to die. And they're going to go to a fiery hell in some other universe. So then you analyze that. So God is so angry at these people for what they did for between newborn to 70 years old, 100 years old at the most. God is so angry with them, he's going to torture them forever for what? Lying? For not serving some church? Really? How is that logical? How is that truthful? That's kind of an interesting idea. Think about that. So this divine creature is going to form a whole other reality. And that reality, that whole nother dimension, whole nother planet to torture these poor people on 70 years here. Does that seem just to you? Does that seem like that would be reality? Just putting it out there for you. So some threaten to obey because you're going to be persecuted. They think that their religion is persecuted, and in reality, they're only brought to justice in most cases. There have been some times of persecution in various religions, but it's not something to threaten you with. Let's see, that you're serving the devil. So would you really think you're serving the devil? Think about that. And you know, there's a whole other history around the devil and God. But if you're not a massive liar, if you're not a massive sinful person, if you're not trying to harm people, would you be serving the devil? That's really kind of a curious idea. That everybody has sin. That's kind of an idea that's interesting, because to me, there's two definitions of sin. One is not obeying God's laws. The other one is, well, there's more than one definition, or more than two. So the other one is missing the mark of perfection, which nobody can be perfect, so everybody would sin. That the Bible, the Christians and the Jews showed. The third is missing the mark, is intentionally hurting others. Now, I attribute that to reality. Don't intentionally hurt others. You will accidentally through your life, and even by telling the truth, you can intentionally hurt others. So that's kind of an odd twist to it, in the sense that you're not going to ever be perfect. You're never going to not make a mistake. That's just not who humans are. So missing the mark of perfection is stupid. The second one, obeying God's laws. Well, God's laws were given to caveman, so let's just upgrade them a little bit to the modern day, and understanding of them. A lot of what churches are teaching about sin and laws of the Mosaic laws are absolutely different than what they think they are. And then the third is don't harm others. I know it's a Greek idea, but don't harm others is sort of basically what Jesus said when he said, love those, loving yourself. So that's the stick. Don't let people use a stick against you and laugh at them. And the other one, the next one, is money. If God gives you money and you give it to us, God will bless you with more money. That is the biggest load of crock to take your money I've ever heard. I mean, I wish people would just give me money from it. I could say God will help you. Now, people feel good about giving to their church, and I understand that. But don't think God's giving it to you. You know, some of the worst criminals and crooks and dishonest businessmen have given money to churches that felt real good about themselves. But they got it by harming others. So they got it by sinning. That's not God giving you money. So this is kind of like my list of things that might help you. Don't be in a fake reality. Thank you.
Please like and subscribe.